Hey, welcome back to Seeking Dubai. So in this video, I just want to share with you some of the stats and happenings in Al Furjan's villa and townhouse market. So if you own a property in Al Furjan or you are in the villa market of Dubai, some of these trends will actually kind of help you understand what's going on in the markets as well. So this is a report we send out to our clients once every few months. And if you've connected with Seeking Dubai and Realco Capital before, you know that we do talk about Al Furjan a lot. It's one of our core ideas over the last many years, and this area we really specialize in. And in fact, we do a huge number of transactions here as a proportion to the market. So one of the things that we can do, and I'll just exit from here, is look at some of the main stats. So this is on DXB Interact, and we can compare the volume of Jebel Ali First, which is this district here. So it includes the communities of Al Furjan, Kurtaj, Jebel Ali Village, Wasl Gate, right? So there's a lot of newer, more emerging communities coming here, and so that's why the volume is also much higher than some of the more traditional communities. And we can also see here in the last 1 year, it's been one of the better performing villa markets. The whole villa market is doing well. So there are different villa communities that are built by Nakheel in Al Furjan, and so in this video, I'm not sure we're going to go into that master plan in so much detail, but let's talk a bit about the vicinity and just get a bit of a perspective there. So in Al Furjan, we are along Sheikh Zayed Road, we're minutes from Marina, and we're in the same belt as some of the older and more mature villa communities of Dubai. And so, just to get a price comparison in places like Meadows and Springs, and then you can also see prices here in Jumeirah Islands, which has gone through the roof, and then Jumeirah Park. And then if you look further back, right, that's where the suburbs are developing of Dubai towards Dubai South. And so over here, we've got places like Expo, where you can see prices of between 1,500 to 1,850 dirhams per square foot. These are the newer more emerging communities. And we can also look at this side of town and see the newer communities that are coming up, which are already sold out but are under construction, like Harmony, the Mock Lagoons, as well. So this is the kind of activity happening in the vicinity of Al Furjan. Now back to Al Furjan, if you're looking at supply over here, which I think a lot of people would be interested in seeing, over here we've got how many properties are ready right now. So the ready supply in Al Furjan right now is this area here in green, which is the Kurtaj phases. And then over here, we have Murooj Al Furjan, which is handing over now. So that's 604 properties that are going to be handed over the next few months. Murooj Al Furjan West is still slated for 2024, but I've kind of just pushed that back because once handover notices come, it does take a bit of time for things to start moving. And then we've got Tilal Furjan, which is also scheduled for 2024, but I think that's also more likely in 2025. And then in 2026, this supply is going to come. So what's going to happen is over the next, you can say 2.5, 3 years, right, the property supply in the Nakheel gated community. So we're not talking about Al Furjan West, which is this area over here. We're talking about Nakheel gated communities. It's going to go from like 1,077 properties to almost 3,800 properties. So there is a lot more supply that is going to enter the market. And then if you're trying to get some insight as to kind of unique property types that are being built over here. So the most prominent properties that are going to come, which are in all of these clusters, is the 3-bedroom townhouse. 4-bedroom townhouse are going to be around 650 once we look at all the projects like Murooj Al Furjan, Tilal Al Furjan, Jebel Ali Village. All of them are going to have 4-bedroom townhouses. There are no 3-bedroom villas being built. And that's why 3-bedroom villa prices now in Kurtaj are reflecting more like the ready 4-bedroom villa market, like closer to that valuation after upgrades and things like that. And then all the communities mostly have 4-bedroom villas, and then only Tilal Al Furjan has twin villas coming. So there's 140 of those that are going to come. And the 5-bedroom villa market, which is serving that amazing range between 7 and 9 million dirhams, which you're not finding in a lot of places, that is one of the best values that you can buy in Al Furjan today. And then if you look at this this chart over here, this is actually going to show you, let me just adjust the screen real quick, hold on. All right, so over here, we can actually see the number of transactions that have happened in all of these communities over the last 12 months. So Kurtaj and Dubai style, the ready market is actually the highest transacting, right? So it's not all off plan, this is the ready market that's transacting, and that's 17% of the total community supply that's transacted over the last 12 months. And the highest recorded is 6.3 million for a 6-bedroom. And this kind of data and this kind of transaction data you can access yourself in Dubai, right? So it's an open API system. You can find it in places like bayut.com or even DXB Interact. And then we can compare that Kurtaj with the off-plan resale market, right? So almost all of these units, except for some cancellations that came out in the last 12 months, right, from Nakheel, and that's pretty rare. All of these are secondary resale markets. So there's a healthy trade that's taking place in this market. Okay, so now, right, let's just go to this chart over here, and I'm going to move myself. Okay, so here, this is like a snapshot of the market when Murooj Al Furjan, which is the first Nakheel off-plan project from this cycle launched in 2021. So obviously, if you're familiar with the Al Furjan market, you'll kind of pick up what I'm talking about. But basically, Kurtaj is the ready townhouses. They've been ready since like 2011, 2012, and so we can track that kind of property for long periods of time. So when Murooj Al Furjan launched, this was the kind of prices, and so since that time, this has been the change in price growth, right, in terms of capital value. So the best performing property type is the Murooj Al Furjan 3-bedroom townhouse. So those launched for around 1.7, 1.8 million, and they are today currently at least 3.5 to 3.7 million, and even up to 4.2 million. So they've grown by like 115%. And then the 4-bedroom townhouse almost doubled in value, but in the same duration, the Kurtaj, the ready market, has also gone up quite a lot, but only by 50%, right? So in terms of the investment back in that time, obviously buying the off-plan was the better purchase. Now Murooj Al Furjan does trade at a premium to Kurtaj, and as they hand over, we can actually see that on a per square foot basis, Kurtaj is cheaper than the Murooj ones, and there's reasons for that, and it's something, you know, we can't really get into in so much detail, I suppose, in a short video, but you know, that's something we can always discuss. If you'd like to kind of reach out to us, and we can always talk about that. So over here, what I want to do is just leave you with a couple of more stats which talk about the ready market. So this is the Kurtaj 3-bedroom townhouse, which started handing over in 2011, and from that time we saw a huge increase till 2014, and then from 2014 all the way to 2020 the market kept declining. So they went from like 1.9 to 3 million, and then right back to 1.8, 1.9 million, and then from 2020 they are now trading at around the 3.4 to 3.6 million mark, right? That's where they reached. But the other amazing thing to look at is the rental values, which are shown here in the black line. And so we can see the rental values from 2020, it was like 100 to 120,000 for these townhouses, and today it's around 250,000. So that is a kind of change. Now, the other thing that's very interesting to see in the market is that the yield of these properties is actually gone up along with the prices, right? So usually yields will go down as prices go up, but in this case, they are just rising as well along with prices. So in terms of the yield, prices today are actually cheaper than they were 4 or 5 years ago, right? So that's something to actually think about. So that is a quick kind of summary of Al Furjan, you know, just some statistics to throw at you. And what I'll do is I'll leave the video with some recent footage of places like Murooj Al Furjan, Tilal Al Furjan, Jebel Ali Village. These are new communities, modern villa developments by Nakheel. They were all launched in 2021 to 2022, and they're all under construction right now. But there's been a huge amount of secondary market activity from the investor towards the end user. So there's still some opportunities over there. There's a lot of other things happening in the Al Furjan market. But if you're interested in exploring the market beyond Al Furjan and you want to understand similar type of real estate hotspots in different areas, then this map over here is showing you how we look at Dubai and how we explain it to our clients. And so, you know, this is just kind of how we break the city down and offer different opportunities in each of these areas. So once again, you know, I'm just going to pitch ourselves a bit. If you want to talk about any of these kind of projects and explore different things, get on a Zoom call with us, talk to us about what you want to, tell us what you want to talk about, and then we can rapidly talk about major things in Dubai very, very fast and give you a very efficient service if that's what you require. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video, and have a great weekend ahead. Take care.